Joshua, what would you like to say?
Well, I personally think it's obvious that the only reason why Labour really got in, the Conservative lost, was because of the Reform Party. And I think the problem is that, people like you think that there's still sides. You think that people still, maybe some people do, but people don't necessarily care about Labour and Conservatives and Reform. They just want, somebody to come up and do what the public want. They don't want...
Jack, do you want to take a moment? I mean,
no,
the idea that you vote for the people who are going to do what you want, with respect, I don't know that you can come on and tell me that I don't understand that, as if it's some sort of coruscating insight into the nature of democratic mandate.
Because you say, why did the Conservatives lose? And it was
Yes.
because the Conservatives were doing absolute shambles. And I voted Conservatives all my life.
Right. So at what point did they lose you?
Oh, boy. Like, you're the one that's come on today and then talk about Liz Truss and talk about, what they did in COVID and all the rest
Yes,
of
but
it.
we're talking about you now. So you voted Conservative all your life. At some point in the last 5 years, you felt that was absolutely not something you'd ever be able to do again. Let's try and work out when that point was.
Well, the last year, I said it was a combination of points. It was probably, COVID, and then...
What about COVID? Was it?
The fact that he was saying one thing and doing the opposite.
You mean the parties?
The scandals, everything. Like the day-to-day news that the common man was being fed.
So we're back to Johnson then. So Johnson for you was the deal breaker, even though you voted for him in 2019.
Yeah, because I thought he was going to. I voted Brexit as well, and I thought we was going to get change, and we didn't. We didn't get any change, and it was.
So what did you do? What did you do in 2019? Did you sort of double down? You know, when people are persuaded to hand over their life savings to a scammer on the internet, and then what I never knew, Joshua, was that if the scammer goes back and says, "Oh, just give me the deeds to your house, and we'll finally free up that money." What did you think? I mean, what did you think Johnson was going to do in 2019?
I believed him. I believed all the rubbish basically that he fed us. And I thought, if this is the chance to sort of get what I want, then maybe I'll vote and give him a chance. And it was, they proved us wrong. But then the thing is, it was the fact that I don't hate Labour. And if I thought Labour was going to do all this good, then I would have voted for Labour. But I knew what was going to happen. And he's come in and proved the point that they're not who they say they are. And how does it make you feel that the only reason why Labour really are in power is because of the Reform Party, who took all them votes?
Oh Lord! So you're still waiting for Brexit to go right?
I believe if there's any man that could do it, it would be Farage.
Yeah. Okay. What would he do first, do you think?
Well, he'd try his best, wouldn't he?
What would he actually? We all try our best. You're trying your best now. What would he do first? What would a different policy look like? I remember that Nigel Farage described Liz Truss's budget as the best he'd ever seen, and Boris Johnson successfully concluding Brexit in celebratory terms. So working from those 2 points, Liz Truss was a genius, Boris Johnson's Brexit was brilliant. What is it about him that fills you with hope for the future, and what do you think he'd do first to fulfil that hope, Joshua?
Well, he'd do his best to stop immigration.
Right.
But, the problem is with that statement alone, it's kind of putting me in a box, isn't it? That statement of me saying...
Well, I'm more interested in the fact...
in a box, which isn't where I want to be.
No, that's we're all in a box, I suppose, whether we want to be or not. But you talked about Liz Truss and Boris Johnson as being reasons why you lost faith in the Tory party, and Nigel Farage was a cheerleader for both of them.
He's not anymore, is he?
Well, he changes according to the wind, doesn't he? Because he knows...
But don't all politicians do that?
Well, no, they don't, you see. Liz Truss, far be it from me to defend her, still insists that her budget was brilliant. So what would...
Well,
so you just want... So you're here...
And changing the wind. The problem is...
Yes.
That's why if I was going to describe Labour as a party...
Yeah.
And think, just say someone came to me and said, it's about politics. And I said, well, I describe Labour...
Perish the thought, Joshua.
You wouldn't describe Labour as a party that's taking freebies and doing all this stuff that is to me shocking. I think, geez, like, gosh, why?
So what rules have been broken?
It's not the rules that have been broken; it's the moral and all the stuff. That the reason why I didn't like.
But
the
how do you
Conservatives,
know? How do you know
because-
about? How do you? I mean, I don't know how helpful this is, to be honest, because I mean, we've established that the fella that you currently support is the fella that thinks the people who are the reason why you don't support the people you used to support are all brilliant. But why do you think? How do we know about the gifts that Keir Starmer has received?
Well, because you talk about them on the news.
No, but how do I know about?
Stupid,
How do I know about? How do I know about them?
Because of the media.
No. How does the media know about them?
And why are Labour putting legislation if they haven't done anything?
You can't answer a question with a question. How does the media know about the gifts that Keir Starmer has received?
Through their intel, their internal intel.
No.
I don't understand the question you're asking me.
Okay, let me ask it. Let me ask it again. How does anybody know about the gifts that Keir Starmer has received from his parliamentary colleague Wahid Ali?
Because they have to be public about it.
So he's declared them all.
He's declared it all. I understand that.
So we got there in the end.
Sorry, yeah.
So the thing that is wrong and sleazy and immoral is the thing that he told us about, completely openly.
Yeah, but people could be completely open about a crime they did.
Yeah, but he hasn't. Yes, and that would make them, Joshua, criminals.
Okay, so spin it on another way.
Because we have laws and rules. So how do you define a criminal? A criminal is someone that has broken a law. How do you find, and again, this isn't a trick question, how do you define a rule breaker?
I'm not calling him a rule breaker or a criminal. I'm saying what he did was...
You just compared him to a criminal a minute ago. I'm just pointing out that the only reason you know about his hospitality and clothing gifts is because he told you about it.
The start I touched the general public. I think that's not what you understand.
You can keep saying these things, but the general public, you are here to represent what you feel and believe. And you've told us in the space of 10 or 15 minutes that the reason why you're no longer a Tory supporter is because of Liz Truss and Boris Johnson. But the fella who described Liz Truss's budget as brilliant and Boris Johnson's Brexit as outstanding is the fella that you now put your faith in because you think he'll somehow be able to deliver the reductions in immigration and something Keir Starmer, criminal hospitality something. That's not the British public, Joshua. The British public has got 5 reasons for why the Tories lost. It was because people wanted change. It was because the country was in a mess. It was because they are liars, useless and corrupt. It was because the public lost trust and confidence in the party. And it was because they were perceived as being out of touch with the public and only caring about themselves. What's not on that list?
I know, and how does it make you feel? The only reason
what's not on that list
election is because of Farage.
I'm touched by your interest in my feelings, but the question I'm asking you is what's not on that list of the top 5 most common reasons for Tory defeat according to the British public?
No, I think you're bang on. I think you're right. I think everything you just in that list you made there is why I didn't vote for the Conservatives.
But what's not on it, Joshua?
Oh, okay, the fact that he didn't, borrow a load of clothes.
No, what's not on the list, Joshua?
Farage.
No, Joshua, what's not on the list?
Go on, you tell me.
Well, I'll read it again. They've been in power for too long and people wanted change. They left the country in a mess and were not fit to manage the country. They are liars, useless and corrupt. The public lost trust and confidence in the party. They're out of touch with the public and only care about themselves. Shall I give you another clue?
Yeah, go on then.
What's the thing you said was the most important issue for you?
Immigration, Brexit.
Yeah, there it is. It's not on the list. But you keep telling me that I'm out of touch with the British public, champ. And have you paid your dues yet to the reform outfit? Have you sent them any money yet?
Who would have them people voted for?
It's a simple question. Have you sent them any money yet?
Have I sent who any money yet?
Oh, never mind.